Right, hello. I'm not going to do much of an intro because if you saw the first video, you kind of know what this is all about. But if you didn't, why not? I promise it's very, very, very good. Join us.
Room for one more.
My name's Aaron, and today, who's up for a quarter-final quiche? Now this video may come out just before or just after the France versus Spain game. Things are moving pretty fast, so just bear with me. I do have a bit of a life outside of this. But the French like quiches, right? And the other thing that they like doing is bloody winning. They're through again after dumping out Morocco. Now, we'll get into that, but first, let's get quiche with it. So what you're gonna need is your pan first of all. Now, if you can get one that is kind of crimped already, and also if you can get one that pops out the bottom like that, so much better, because then it saves you from like having to sort of dig it out and then then you could even like crack it and everything like that. But then if you get one that's like this, you can literally just pop it onto a little stand or something like that, and then just pop it out like that. How cool is that? Now, the other most important thing as well is the dough. Now I have bought mine pre-made short crust pastry. You could make it yourself with flour, eggs, oil, and then put it all together, mix it all together, and then put it in the fridge for half an hour to an hour. But I didn't really want to do that. I kind of got pre-made, store-bought pastry, and I promise I will at some point in the future make a dish completely from scratch, but right now I think this will do. Right, now you can see I'm putting the dough into the tray, just like France put down Morocco. Well, France did have the better chances early on, and their man at the moment, Mbappe, won a penalty. He stepped up, but it was saved.
Damn.
But the chances kept coming for Mbappe, and eventually he got his goal. The man is just inevitable. Well, back to the food, and you gotta cut off the excess bits of dough, but as you know, things never go smoothly, do they? So I had to put some of the extra dough back onto the sides because the dough didn't cover the whole tray, as you might have seen. But you know who made sure that the win was covered for France? That was Dembele, as he sealed the win with a nice finish into the bottom corner. So France are through. And you know what's coming through next is rice. No, not Declan, but the actual real stuff, as you kind of have to put some parchment paper down onto the dough and then some rice or ceramic balls, little ones if you've got them. Well, this is because you have to kind of part bake the dough in the oven for about 15 minutes. I put mine on gas mark 6. And the rice is there to just weigh it down so it doesn't come up. Well, after that, it was time to get the next ingredients. Your eggies, double cream, and bacon. Right, next up what we're going to do is just chop up our onion and also bacon. As you can see, I've got 2 knives because I do not want to mix vegetables and meat, so make sure you have either 2 knives or at least just wash it up before you do one or the other. France's opponent, as we all know, is going to be Spain, but they had to get through Belgium first. Sorry, I pointed the knife at you. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. So Spain's opponents were Belgium. And first of all, do you know what? I thought this was going to be quite a tightly contested game. And it did prove to be a little bit, but Spain just came out of the blocks. Like, for the past few games, Spain they've kind of started slow, and then built their way up. It was quite cagey against Portugal, but against Belgium, they just came flying out of the traps. And there was so much nice pressure from Spain with seeing Lamine Yamal being put through on the right-hand side, and he cuts the ball back. Courtois parries the ball, and then it ends up in the path of Fabio Ruiz, who basically just coolly slots it into the net, giving Spain a 1-0 lead. Okay, quick side note, I did just go and wash my hands because, again, I don't want to mix even though they will be mixed in the pan when I fry them off in a second, I don't want to mix the raw meat and the veg right now. So wash your hands before you go any further and make sure you don't get any, is it salmonella on bacon? Can you get salmonella on bacon? Anyway, I'm gonna grab my bacon here. I'm taking about 5 rations of streaky, if I can get it out, streaky bacon. Just whack that down, and then again use the other knife and just chop it up into little chunks. But then just when you thought Spain were going to run away with it, just moments before half time, Belgium come out of nowhere, De Ketelaere popping up out of nowhere, heading the ball in to make it 1-1. So we go into the break 1-1. Who's going to come out the best in the second half? Again, both sides had chances, but then it really, and I've started to notice that with the World Cup games, there's one moment that seems to change everything, and it seems as though Courtois going off injured, and the United goalkeeper, Manchester United goalkeeper, Laman's coming on. Again, he's looked so sure for United this season, but who knows, just a bit of a brain fog. Shot coming at him, he spills it into the path of that guy, the guy who's becoming such a clutch player for Spain, Mikel Merino, who fires it in, 2-1 to Spain. Adios, Belgium. Into the next round goes Spain. Do you know what else goes next? Is the onions into the pan to be sauteed. I added some butter and some oil to just fry them off a bit. And you know what else was frying? England and Norway. Those lads were playing in that Miami heat. Not much was made of it, but it was hot. It felt like 40 degrees, they said. But England had the better start, but didn't do much with the possession for me. Gordon and especially Madueke need to do so much more. A hydration break followed, and then England went 1 down. Shalderup with a cross/shot ending up in the net. Pickford, you need to do so much better there, mate. Just when it looked like Norway were going into half-time with a lead, did the ball hit the camera wire? I don't think so, but Anderson picks up the ball, passes it to Gordon, who finds Bellingham, and he just did the rest. Now the onions are done, just put them onto a plate and then you can fry off your bacon. There were no goals, so extra time we went, and
I don't get nervous, but I'm starting to get a bit shaky, you know? I mean, I'm a little bit weak.
But do you know who calmed my nerves down? Jude. This guy, this is the guy. His best mate Morgan Rogers with a shot, and Jude following it in to smash home the winner. England go on into the semis. Once the dough is done, just take it out and make sure to poke some holes into it with a fork. And when the bacon is done, just put that onto the same plate with the onions, just leave them on the side. I mean, if you've got a bit of paper, best thing to do is put some kitchen towel down first so that it soaks up the oil, but I didn't have any, so I kind of just put them on the plate. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the filling for the quiche. So what we're gonna need is our bowl, our eggs, and I'm gonna use 3 large eggs. So we'll just get them out, 1, 2, and 3. Pop you away. Double cream, or you can use crème fraîche if you want to do extra French. And then also our milk, but it says probably about 100 milliliters of milk. Yeah, and then 250 milliliters, I'm using double cream. First of all, what I'm gonna do is just crack the eggs in and then put the rest of the double cream, the milk, and then some salt and some pepper, and we're gonna whisk this. I'm gonna add the double cream. Look at that. And then just whisk this in a bit more. And obviously the final game of the quarterfinals was that of Argentina versus Switzerland. And again, it was another game that was just quite incredible, really. Argentina taking the lead through an Alexis McAllister header. A McAllister header? Okay, fair. Wish he would have done more of that for Liverpool this season. But, you know, he gives Argentina the lead. And again, it's one of these games for me that was at 2 in the morning, so I kind of fell asleep, and then I just had to wake up the next day and see the highlights. And from the highlights, it just looked as though after the Argentina goal, it was pure Switzerland, swishing, that's it, swissing left, swissing right, swissing through the center. Gonna add my milk in now. It's very creamy, this. Just whisk it up. I mean, the swish just kept going and going and going, and eventually they managed to break down the Argentinians. Nice bit of play again. slipping in Dan Adoy, who slotted the ball past Emi Martinez to make it 1-1. And then, from then, I mean, again, from the highlights that I saw, it looked as though it was only going to go one way, but Brie and Bolo decided to dive while he was on a yellow card. VAR checked it and gave him a yellow, a second yellow, which is a new rule by FIFA. If you dive, you get booked. So off he goes, and off goes their momentum. Although the game went into extra time, it was all Argentina, and then Julian Alvarez, he cuts in off the left and shoots for what is probably the goal of the round and maybe the tournament. 2-1 to Argentina. Martinez then adds a third, so Argentina go through. Now all that's left is to add the onions and bacon to the bottom of the dough and then pour your mixture in. I did add some cheese, some mild cheddar, because I didn't have that cheese that is the Swiss one that I can't even pronounce. I'm not even going to try. Then all that's left to do is to just whack it in the oven. Preheated, of course. I put it on gas mark 6 for about 30 to 35 minutes. And while that's ovening, there's time to make a brew and maybe take a little sleepy sleep. So now that the quiche is out of the oven, what I'm going to do is just let it rest for about 10 minutes or so. And what you want to make sure is that, like, I'm not going to touch it because it's a little bit hot. Let me just grab this. Is just make sure it's still just a little bit jiggly in the middle. But this has been my take on a quiche Lorraine. Like I've said, we've got two fantastic games coming up, the semi-final matches between France and Spain, and also England versus Argentina. What a game that's going to be. Spicy, fierce, a bit of everything in between. Let me know who you think is going to get to the final of the World Cup, and also let me know what dishes you think I should try going forward in the future. But for now, this has been Grub and Goals. Au revoir.